If I can have your attention now here in the Media Center, we will now start our post-Bush Pole Award qualifying media availability for the 61st Annual Federated Auto Parts 400. We're joined by our second place qualifier, Denny Hamlin, driver, the number 11 FedEx Office Toyota, the pride of Chesterfield. We're going to open it up for questions. We're going to start with Nate over here, and we'll work our way around.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Denny, going back to last week, usually when the playoffs start, the last few years, it seems as if teams raise their game. And aside from Eric Jones being on the pole, both you and Kyle struggled a lot during that race. Did Gibbs expect to be better? Did you find out what was wrong? Were you trying something new? What happened there?
A little bit of everything. Yeah, we certainly expected to be better. The whole organization thought that we would be better, but we saw signs of in race trim practice that we weren't very good in practice. So that kind of just bled into the race, and we all struggled. But certainly there were some lessons to be learned there from the organization standpoint, and we're moved on from it, and I think that we're better off now than what we were then.
Denny, does being 16th add any strain to you, or does the fact that you're 16th and here kind of mitigate that, or kind of where's your head on that?
No, I mean, I certainly wish we would have just finished where we were running at the time. I think we were 11th or something like that when we crashed. But I went in turn 3 and 4 just like I always had, and the track just was not cleaned from the wreck that happened earlier, and ran through stay dry and wrecked, and then the grass caught the front end, and that was it. But I wish I wasn't in this position. Honestly, I wish we could come here and have a mediocre race and continue to move on. But I don't mind this either. I don't mind having to go out there and know that I need to run top 5 of every stage, top 5 in the race to just get ourselves somewhat near that cut line, and then when we get to Charlotte, handle business there.
Box. Go ahead, press box. Okay, we're going to continue down here with Randy.
Randy Holman from the Times-Dispatch. You've had a string, maybe not every race, but several races lately. You've qualified well and then had a hard time sort of sustaining that in the race. From what you said when you got out of the car, it sounds like you're set up for long runs better than you were in qualifying. A little surprised that you qualified where you did. Give me an idea of how that goes tonight.
Yeah, we've struggled, most of the second half of the year, just getting the balance where it needs to be on race day. We've had decent practices, and then we get in the race and just is not very good. Today I thought that we were probably 20th or something fastest, but we went out later than everyone else trying to get the track rubbered in, so you're not going to run a fast time. But I was pretty optimistic about the way my car drove, and that's really what it's all about at a racetrack like this, is how does it drive? Don't worry about the times. And it did a lot of the things that it needed to do. So every week I'm optimistic that this is the week that it's going to turn around and things are going to be normal again, and hopefully that's the case. But definitely, coming here, I know that what I'm looking for, and so far I've had that.
Try the press box one more time. Okay.
Question in the press box is for driver Harvick when he arrives.
10-4. Thank you. Any additional
press
questions?
box. Thank you.
Any additional questions downstairs? Denny, congratulations on the good run. Good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
We are now joined by a provisional Bush Pole Award winner for the 61st Annual Federated Auto Parts 400, and that's Kevin Harvick, driver the number 4 Jimmy John's new 9-grain wheat sub Ford here at Richmond Raceway. We'll open the floor for questions. If you have a question for Kevin, we'll get a wireless mic to you. Questions for Kevin Harvick? Go right over here.
Don Jeffrey, CSPN Media. After last week's issues and, the race night ending the way that you liked out in Vegas, how does this unexpected pole make you feel heading into tomorrow night's race, considering that your practice times were a little slower than you're normally used to?
Yeah, obviously you don't know much about how practice works. We didn't do any qualifying runs, and we're able to, really work on our car in race trim. So that's a good lesson for you. Don't stare at the. It wasn't unexpected for us, so don't stare at that. Don't stare at that time board. Sometimes it's a little misleading. But so for us, it was, we expect to run well, and I'm really pleased with our car and in race trim, and we're able to put together 3 rounds and squeak through there in the second round, make some good adjustments to the car, and so our first 3 attempts at qualifying went pretty good today.
Additional questions here in the deadline room for Kevin. Go upstairs to the press box.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. Kevin, you were outside the top 12 in the first round, 11th in the second round, and then obviously pole in the third. Was that more a case of good adjustments between rounds, saving your stuff, or other people falling off more?
We didn't really fall off, and I think that's part of the game here, and I think we made some good adjustments on just making the car better, and for me, just getting a little more confidence in how fast I could let the car roll, and being able to stay in the throttle up off the corner. So a little bit of both. Obviously in the first round, it didn't really know what we had, and we ran 1 less lap than a lot of the faster guys.
Additional questions for Kevin? Let's go down here to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Have you put Vegas behind you completely, or did you do any?
I did that 5 days ago, 4 days ago.
So you guys didn't go back and find out what happened with those tires and like that. You just put it in the review.
No, I never even asked. I know that there was something wrong with the tires. I knew that from lap 1. Lap 1, it was absolutely horrible compared to what it was with no changes to the car, and it was just way different, and all we did was change the tires.
Back upstairs to the press box.
Steve Wilson, SpeedwayDigest.com. You haven't won here in 5 years in this event. How much has the track changed since then?
I don't really know. It's not a whole lot different. The tires have changed a lot. So it's been a decent racetrack for us through the years. But I think it's probably been one of our tougher racetracks as we've gone through the 5 years at Stewart-Haas Racing. So I think as we've come here, we've been hot or cold, and so it's. I don't think the racetrack has really changed that much. There's been some circumstances that have changed, like my team and just the things that we've had to race in the rules and the tires. There's just a number of different things. I don't think the track is really that much different.
Additional questions for Kevin Harvick? Kevin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.